I want to let them open.
Look how these in. They're going good. Fine.
Hi. How are you? You're not being shy on camera, are you? Are you? Good hop. That was a good hop. Come on, Bucket. Everybody gets to see you today. Come on, Bucket. Come on. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Sorry that we don't have blue skies like you guys have been seeing in some of the videos. At least it's not raining. So sometimes when we move, we're just switching fields. We just rotate fields to let the grass kind of recover in between. Because these guys, they can mow some grass down pretty quickly. So we're just moving them over to this one today, letting them get some fresh grass, and we wanted to just be able to let everyone join in here on the farm and kind of help be involved with them. And they all had their birthdays in the last month, and we have some birthday cards. Bailey. We have some birthday cards to read to them. So Bucket, it just turned 3. Billy's having a good time being on camera, aren't you, buddy? Yeah, you're being silly. You can see truly, when I jump back from him, it's strictly from because of his size, not that he has any ill intent in him whatsoever. I just have to be careful from a size standpoint. You can see he's almost as tall as me. So getting back, so Bucket turned 3 on March 27th, and that basically kind of was 3 years ago. Bo Peep. We have everybody here today. This is Bo Peep. She likes to hang out with us everywhere on the farm. So Bucket's birthday basically kind of distinguishes the fact of 3 years ago was when I finally just made that decision that I was gonna make a sanctuary happen. Prior to getting him, and more because it was hard to move the farm that I just built up in Maryland. That was probably my biggest hurdle, and moving away from my family and friends obviously was a huge part of it. So, but 3 years ago, I saved Bucket's life, and one of the best things I did in my life, and I can't believe it's been 3 years, honestly. So, and then we have Bailey's birthday is in September. We had to kind of pretend that it was his birthday because, I can't celebrate 3 boys' birthdays and not celebrate the 4th. So he turned 2.5 in March. And then Miles and Journey just turned 1. Miles just turned won on Wednesday, and I think Journey won the previous week on Wednesday too. So it was, I can't believe that's already been a year. They've gotten so big, and I'm just so proud of them. I mean, they came from a really, really, really horrible situation, especially Journey, because he had to kind of live it for the first week of his life. Miles was able to kind of get out of that situation, even though he was being ripped from his mom. At least he didn't have to endure the week that he did, like Journey did. So we made their venture from Vermont because of Jason, and we had some rough weeks in the beginning of them being sick, but overall they were just such fighters and absolute sweethearts. So you can see that they're big puppies. Here comes Bucket right up to the camera. Hi, Bucket. Can you stay up there, Bucket? Can you say hi? You want to say hi to Colton? Yeah. Great, hold on a bit. If you guys have any questions you want me to answer, don't hesitate to kind of just put them in the chat. And my brother and sister-in-law are helping me with this, so they can read them over to me.
Hi, Nancy.
If you're wondering about all the horses in the background, they are my neighbor's horses. And so we have quite the audience today. They're very curious. Beautiful horses. They're definitely having fun themselves this morning, watching everything going on. You turn around so that everybody can see your face. It's really your big butt. Yeah? It's your butt? Yeah, you got the big audience. So I wanted to thank everybody who, I didn't mean to make people feel bad yesterday that they hadn't gotten any cards. So I really appreciate that you guys went out and you sent them cards yesterday. That was really, really, really sweet. So just have them right here. So I'll go ahead and read their cards, and then I'm just going to hang out with them today. So we have a happy birthday to Bucket and Bailey, Miles and Journey, wishing you blue skies, green meadows, sunshine, and much love. Toby and Brooke. Thank you so much. I love that wish for them. I wish that same thing for them. And we have a happy third birthday, Bucket. Have fun in your new pasture. From Kitty friends George, Kiwi, Frank, and Miki, and Mikey.
Susie, come closer. It's hard to see the picture.
Yeah. We have this picture. Let me show the other one. This was the first card, so happy birthday. Wishing you blue skies, green meadows, sunshine, and much love. I love that. And then we have happy first birthday, Miles and Journey. Have fun in your new pasture. Again, from George, Kiwi, Frank, and Miki. I love the background. It's so beautiful. And then and I appreciate everyone sending Bailey. Come on, Bucket. Come on up here. Happy 2.5 birthday, Bailey, new pasture from George Kiwi Franken. Yeah, how you doing? And then we have happy 3rd birthday, Bucket. Love, Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. Happy 1st birthday, Miles. Love, Cindy. Happy first birthday, Journey. Love, Cindy. And happy 2.5 birthday, Bailey. To Bailey. Love, Cindy. Thank you, guys. So sweet. And so from Journey's sponsor mom, we have big birthday smooches for him and all the boys. So thank you. Thank you. So the first one was from Chester and Sterling's sponsor, and so the boys are really lucky. They all have amazing sponsor moms. All a good majority of everyone on the farm has sponsors, which is a tremendous help. And if anyone is ever interested in sponsoring one of the gang, you get kind of special updates monthly. I email you different pictures, and just sort of more communicate, a little bit more details, and try to keep everyone informed on how they're doing. And so it's a fun way to kind of, be responsible for, like, literally helping me take care of them on a daily basis with their feed and their hay. So our sponsors are a huge help. And then obviously we have our patrons. They're similar to our sponsors, and they donate monthly, and they get exclusive pictures just within that site, within the Patreon site. And so that again helps. It just helps big time on, like, budgeting standpoint to know how much you're bringing in monthly. And then you guys, like, everyone was just tremendous help this week in donating for their bigger barn. You can see, like, if you take Miles and Journey growing up and being the size of Bailey, when they lay down, the spread of their bodies on, like, the barn is it's big. It's a big area, and they made it through this winter fine because Journey and Miles were smaller, but I know it's going to be really tight, and I'm waiting on some quotes. But you guys just rallied. We had a generous donor that was willing to match the 500, and you guys all made that happen, and so much more. So just unbelievable, thankful. Thank you guys for everyone that donated. And I realize the times that we're in, and I know not everyone is able to do that, but you guys sharing posts and commenting and just sending your love, that means just as much to me as well. So I just want everyone to know that, and I'm always thinking about everybody in all their different situations. We've been really lucky here. I've kind of determined in, like, the last month that my life that I live on a normal basis could very well be equal to, like, quarantine life to everybody else, because I literally, like, go nowhere. And so for me to stay home for weeks on end is not hard, and that's really, like, what I do anyway. But I know my friends and everybody, like, trying to stay in and stay inside, and not necessarily having a beautiful farm to walk outside your house to enjoy has been really tough for everybody. So I've been really lucky in the fact that, like, I haven't been greatly affected by it. I've been able to we were able to stock up on the feed, and luckily we had gotten the big hay delivery, and we were sort of able to just prepare that way. But we've only left the farm a couple times since lockdown, just to more or less get food for ourselves. And so, and then a lot of everybody has been like changing over to working from home. I've been lucky to I worked from here, so I typically do my morning routine, and then I go to work, and I come into the house, go up to my office, I work, and then I try to take a little walk during lunch, check on everybody, and then as soon as I'm off, like it's literally like 5 minutes from after the time I finish my day working, I'm outside again. If you saw the inside of my house, you realize I do spend all my time on the outside of my house. I would rather clean my barn 95 times before I ever clean my house. It's just where I want to be. So my poor brother and sister-in-law who have to live with me because I live that way. When I was looking for a farm, I really wanted to find a farm that had the living quarters above the barn, because that's really where I wanted to be. Do you have any questions?
Just a lot of happy birthdays.
Who are you talking to over there, Mom? Okay, you gotta turn around too. So we're just gonna hang out. Seriously, if you want to ask me anything, I have so many. I wish I had more time to share more on a daily basis on social media for you guys, but I struggle with my time just because I'm trying to take care of everybody, working, and like right now I'll be honest, I'm spending a lot of time with Willow, and it's fun, and obviously she's adorable, and who wouldn't want to spend time with Willow? But it also has a purpose, and that is just making her feel completely comfortable with people, and working with her with the halter, and just making sure that she can be handled. Obviously, when she gets as big as Olive, so it's a whole lot easier to get them, it's trained just enough to be handled from the beginning when she's this little, and then when she ends up growing up. So it obviously is really fun, and she's as sweet as all heck. And she's doing really, really great with putting her halter on and moving around. So, but I have so many videos of her and to share with you guys. So I wish I could tell you more of the stories that happen on a daily basis. My brother and I know there's always a story every day. And if I just didn't run out of energy sometimes at night, now that it's later, I don't come in until 8, and like I guess before daylight savings time, I'd get in around 6:30, and I could do like more long posts and more long videos, and still get to bed like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So now I'm like trying to start at 9 o'clock doing these things. And some nights it happens, and some nights it doesn't. I literally fall asleep with my phone in my hand sometimes. So I'm working at it. I'm going to use Throwback Thursday if I can't get more of Willow posted and everything else that I've been taking. I have fun ones of Hopi and her gang, and we'll just, I'm going to catch up. I just might not be like posting on the day it happens. So I know, and I know you guys don't care about it. We'll get Miles and Journey over here in a second. You wanna try the ball? So we got one of those really gigantic balls. I've had it. We finally got it blown up. I honestly have no idea if the boys are going to be completely scared of it or if they're going to, like, Bailey will think it's a lot of fun to play with. So we're going to give it a go here in a second. But literally, this is the first time they will have seen this ball, and it is big. So it very well could intimidate them for a minute. My brother can't even pick it up. It's so big.
They say a lot of times like small people up there.
doing it, Leather?
Okay.
Very good. Stinky cat.
So when I come in with the field, normally when I come into the field, Colton always comes. She can't get into the field with the boys unless I let her. So she often hangs out with them. She's aware of their size, but they all know her. She'll just, as you can see in the pictures, hangs out with them, lays down with them. And just kind of becomes one of them, as she does with like so many of the animals here. Yesterday we were in with Hopi, and she went in with us, and she just lays down. Not all dogs, not all farm animals really like dogs, but everyone can sort of raise with her, so we're all really very familiar with her. Okay. Sorry that Miles and Journey haven't walked over yet. What they'll probably do is do a little circle if you guys want to hang out with us for a while. That's not right.
That's a normal position.
Yeah, this is for normal. And she normally pops up and goes into zooming mode, right? Go into zooming mode. Just gotta watch your knees.
See if Hope will play with the ball.
I'll let you guys just enjoy the scenery for a little bit. Oh, the boys. You want to see me? Thanks for everybody that's joined. One of the things that you guys, I know you've seen the post, but with YouTube, I have to learn all these social media. Each one of these different things. I'm learning. I'm not by all means an expert on anything. So like YouTube, I knew nothing about it, and so I've been like trying to learn all the ins and outs of how to make it work, how to make it successful. And as you guys have might have seen on a couple of the posts, like my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then you need 4,000 hours of watch time. So in some ways that doesn't sound like a lot, and then in other ways it is a lot. And so when you hit those two goals,
Talk to each other.
but the boys love the horses on the other side. They very much, and I think the horses like them. When you hit the two goals of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours, then you can get eligible for the to make a little bit of money, is what they say. I'm not sure how much that's going to add up. It's all about the views and time, and as ads pop up, people clicking on them. I still don't know all the ins and outs of it by all means. I believe one of the things, and I've been meaning to check on it, is that when I get to that point, when I go live, I could be on my phone. And so that makes it a whole lot easier for me to go live if I can carry my phone around, because right now I'm honestly got my laptop on a ladder with a camera on a tripod trying to make this work
Piece of
right
batting
now.
board.
Huh?
Piece of batting board.
Yeah. And so, and then, unfortunately, like my brother and my sister-in-law are not always going to be here. to kind of man the camera. So when I can do it by my phone, I'll be able to go live so much more, and be able to really show you a lot like further distance away from the house and the barn. So we are I think about 540 subscribers now, so we're a little over halfway there. And hours, the last time I checked, we were almost at 1,500 hours. So we still have. Play the ball? Come on, Miles. Come on over here, buddy. There you go. Good job. There's our blue mouse. So as I was saying, we're at like 1,500 hours. When you post a 5 or 6 minute video, you just need thousands of views to really add up time. So everybody's doing a great job. Everyone I know is trying to help me get the watch time in. We just need a lot more people to kind of do it all at once to make it happen a lot quicker. But we'll get there. And I appreciate everyone doing it and subscribing and just giving us another platform to gain support and to share all the stories with people. Because some people don't do Instagram, some people don't do Facebook and everything. So, what you doing? Houses horns are finally, getting a little less to them. They've taken a whole lot longer than Journey's, even though it's only a week difference, right, Miles? But yeah. They're so darn cute. And they're both being really good with me. I was a little intimidated by knowing they were going to have these big horns. But it doesn't intimidate me anymore. I trust them with anything. You just got to be careful leaning down. That's the main thing. Right? So you don't get the head bump. Don't get a head bump. They are the biggest, gentlest creatures. I can't explain. They're just so sweet. And if they were capable of just coming into the house like Colt does, they would want to do that. They're just the same way. It's just they want to be with you, and they want to love and be loved. It's just so awesome to see and get the experience. So I wanted everyone to sort of just see them live, so that you can just truly see how gentle they are. And even I think sometimes get the perspective of how big Bailey is, because he is a big boy. His head and everything else, I swear his ears are as big as my head. Right, Miles? I suspect that Miles will be as big as Bailey, because he has some Holstein in him, more than likely. Ernie, jerseys tend to be a little bit smaller, which is why Bucket is smaller. I think Ernie might get because I think he ended up being a little bit bigger baby. But who knows? It'll be fun to see. They don't really get full size until about like at least 2 years. And sometimes I feel like they kind of come growing after that. So, I would say Bailey, who's now 2.5, is obviously not going to grow. So it's about the 2-year mark that they max out what the size is going to be.
Sorry. Bailey, mine.
Bailey.
Sorry, guys.
The problem with putting them in a new field is like doing this is obviously the green grass they think is truly always on the other side of the fence. And, they're just enjoying it. So normally hay gets them every time. Bailey, they're all coming back. I know, Mom. You can see how Bailey is always curious, and he has the advantage of being able to reach over the fence. What is that big ball, Bailey? This is about the right size for you.
Find out what it's made of. Started the place.
you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat and I can answer them too. Don't hesitate. I don't mind answering anything. You have any questions? So like my normal day, I guess. Careful. I try to get outside right when it gets light, which I guess right now is about 6:37. Like, I try to get outside. I'll head to the barn. I feed everybody, and then like Goldie, Olive, and Willow, they go into the barn every night, and so do all the goats. So all 14 goats make their way into the barn every night, and obviously it's a lot easier to get them out in the mornings than sometimes it is to get them in the evenings. So get everybody out, and then obviously if I have to go to work, I go to work. And then on the weekends, obviously we have to do lots of other things, and just trying to take care of the farm and fix things that need to be fixed. And we've been working on so many different projects over the last year and a half. Or actually, it's going to be, I think, in about a week and a half. We'll have been here 2 years. It's hard to believe either. Time really flies. Thanks to my brother and all of his work that he's done here. We're almost done, like the really big projects, and even majority of the small projects. We have a few things left, and then he's got me set up to be ready for be able to once we rescue more animals. We'll have the space for that, as well as help me make the farm efficient, I guess, if that makes sense. He always makes fun of me. I sometimes don't do things the most efficient way, and he keeps me in line on that. And because unfortunately they're not going to be here forever, and so probably in about 6, 7, 8 months, they will be moving to their new home, and it'll be myself and Colton running the farm, right? And so that's where efficiency and being able to take care of it myself, both from taking care of all the animals, but also taking care of the farm. Because honestly, I don't mow grass right now. He does it all. And come next summer, that will all be on me. So I have to figure out a way to make all that happen. And, so we're working at it. We're getting everything done. It's looking amazing, and the animals, they've got it. Got their area set up so well, and really, really excited about it. So right now, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you didn't listen to how Willow was born in that video, I had mentioned that my golf cart had died, and I guess it's been down for probably 5 or 6 weeks now, and it made it really tough. Thank goodness it's the springtime and it's been beautiful weather, and kind of taking a stroll through the farm has been nice. However, doing a stroll through the farm like all day long, on top of everything else, gets really, really, really tiring. Some days my legs have been like so tired I don't even feel like they can like move forward anymore. I don't know. I average between about around 5 miles a day walking because of the golf cart being down. But not the funny part, but the cute part of the whole thing is Colton is like as sad as I am about the golf cart because Colton didn't do a whole lot of walking when the golf cart is in use. So we noticed her sleeping a lot more, and we tied it back to the fact that she's also walking probably those same 5 miles with me. Like the majority of time, like if I go from the house to the barn, she goes to the house to the barn with me. But in the last few weeks, there's been a few times she's like, I'm staying in the house. I'm gonna lay here on the deck and I'll see you in a little bit. She just, I think it's tired too, right? Yeah. But we're working on a solution. I'll be probably posting about that hopefully next week to try to figure out something on that. I know I won't survive just physically if I don't get something figured out with that situation. And I know Colton will become a much happier dog. I know I will become happier when I can ride sometimes. Not that I don't mind walking sometimes, but she kind of had needed to like trim down a tiny bit. So I think in the last month, Colton has trimmed down a little bit. What do you think? Do you think he's trimmed down? She had put on her little winter weight. Yeah. What do you think about this? You think Colton is a good weight? I think it was last year. When I took her to the vet for her annual checkup, like my vet was like, "You gotta make her walk sometimes. You go out riding the golf cart too much. You put a little weight on." I know. I think not cool. I think not cool. Jern. Kind of interesting that I think Miles is a little closer to Bucket, and I think Journey is a little closer to Bailey, like in friendship wise. They all four get along completely fine, but like you'll see them paired sometimes like this, and it'll be, and I always say it's like the opposite colors that they hang out together. Journey's more than the other horn. They've grown. I swear the other day I came out and I said, Journey, your horns grew today. Just look longer. Over here. Oh.
You have a question? Burke May, tell us how you came to buy this piece of property for the farm.
Say what the question.
Huh?
Say what the question.
Yeah. So we have a question about how I came about buying this farm, and so when I decided to finally move and committed to the fact that I was gonna, try to find a bigger piece of property, I literally, it was weird when I bought my farm, the first farm. So let me start over. It's a good story. So my parents were super generous, and we grew up on 8.5 acres of land. And what they did at some point, they split up that land and they gave each of us a piece of it. And I had built a house there, the same with 2 of my brothers and my sister. And so we had this little family compound. And my other brother, my third brother, his wife's family had actually given them land. So we were all like so lucky that we got given that start to be able to get our first houses. And I lived there, and so I had just like an acre there, and I had 4 dogs, and I guess it was about 13 years or 12 years, something like that. And then, as you know, my mom passed away in 2009, and the hardest thing I ever had to go through, but it was hard. We all grew up in that house, and it was literally like 100 feet from where I was living was where I grew up, and obviously where all my memories were of my mom. But one of the things that I said last to my mom was, and we had not talked about it for a long time. She always wanted a farm, and one of the last things I said to her was I was gonna get us a farm. And I don't know what really prompted it. It was believe me, it was in a very hard moment. Um, and so I said I was going to get us a farm. And I guess about uh, a few months after she passed away, I started getting involved with horses. And I had not been involved in horses except for about 2 months of my entire life did I take riding lessons when I was like 13. And Larry, who lives here, my brother, we always had a we always came to our parents with a plan when we were younger of how we could get a horse when we had just when there was none of the other houses, when we were just at the 8.5 acres. We had a barn, and we had obviously plenty of land. We just need fencing, and we always had concocted a plan to go to our parents. It's probably the only thing that I can truly say that my mom didn't like say yes to. She like would do anything for us. She never gave in on the horse. So when I decided I was going to move, I was going to get more land for my dogs, and sort of start fresh. I wasn't going to try to move far. And then I started riding lessons, or started being around horses, and then all of a sudden it like clicked with me that like, okay, I really could get us a farm. I could really have my own horse. I was 40 years old at that point. I can make the decision to get my own horse. And so I started looking for a farm, and it took a year and a half to find the 7-acre farm I had. At that point, my dad was planning to move in with me, and he did not want to leave the area that we were in. And so even though I was looking like an hour away, he didn't really want to be that far. And long story short, I ended up 10 minutes away from where I grew up, at a farm that I needed to kind of put together. It was beautiful 7 acres, but no fencing. It had a shell of a barn, no stalls. And I literally put it all together. But at that point, I knew I wanted to do a rescue. And honestly, my family thought I was crazy and didn't really, I guess, totally believe me. It's not that they weren't not supporting me, but they didn't really believe me. And so I did this, and I knew I was going to fill it up. I kind of like just knew it. So I always was getting those emails, with new farm listings. So for the 6 years I lived there, I still never turned off my automatic emails on getting farm listings. And so I kept looking at them, and I just felt like I wasn't there for life. Even though I wanted to say that so badly, I wanted to say it. I knew it. And so then finally, as we know, I helped bottle, raise, and rescue Rocky, and then Ripley, and then Bucket. I knew I wanted to do it. And so I started to look for a farm. But this time I said I was going to be, unfortunately, a little selfish for the first time in my life. And I wasn't going to care where I, moved. We got lots of horse action in the background. I wasn't going to care where I moved, because like here in Maryland, I rarely left the farm. Now, I did leave to go to work there. But otherwise, I wanted to vacation at my farm. I wasn't able to do hardly anything because I still had a morning routine and a night routine. So I looked in 6 different states, and I wanted to be able to get at least 20 acres. And honestly, where I was living, to get 20 acres, I couldn't afford it. And as much as I wanted to stay close to all my family and friends, it was going to be so tough. I was going to be strapped, like trying to make it work financially and everything. And so I was looking online. I would spend all these hours every night looking online at farms all over the East Coast. And finally, it was hard to kind of go look at all these different farms, because I had a farm and I was trying to I drove. So I decided to do a Virginia run, which was down here, and I had 2 farms to come down here to look at. And I looked at the other one first, And this one, I was on the road that the farm is on, and I got in front of it, and I knew at that point that this was the one. Um, it just hit me, and that I was so wanting that like that feeling, because it was such a big decision that I certainly wanted to have that. Like, this is the one. I didn't want to have any waffling in terms of what decision I was going to be making. So I looked at this farm for an hour, and then I knew I wanted it. It was honestly like a lot cheaper than I could ever imagine getting the same farm in Maryland, which was why I was like obviously willing to consider it. It was a beautiful, beautiful farm, but it was in an area that I knew nothing about. I knew no one. But it gave me, I could see the vision of the sanctuary right from the beginning. It had the fields I needed to start out with, but then it had the room to grow and add fields, that's what we've been doing. It had the humongous barn that had 18 stalls, which, trying to build a barn with 18 stalls is just so expensive. And then it had all these other like a couple other barns for hay, and it was just, it gave me everything I wanted. I wanted an old farmhouse, but the farmhouse didn't really need too much work inside, so that was good. And so after I looked at it for an hour, I went out the road and I said, I guess I should. I mean, this is literally a conversation I had with myself. I guess I should ride around to see where I'm going to live. So I went down the road like a mile, and I went into a gas station. I went through this little town, which now I know as Lawrenceville, and then it was like, I don't know, it's like 6 o'clock, and I had to get home to like make sure all the animals were okay. So I said, I guess that's all I'm gonna see. So the next day, I put a contract in on the farm as soon as we got it all together, and here we are, 2 years later. There's definitely been moments that I wasn't sure I did make the right decision. The area, the town, like, I lived in a small town. we grew up in a small town, but this area is really, really tiny. When I say there's not a lot to do, I mean, I'm not really exaggerating it. I love it that way, because I wanted to be remote. I didn't want our town that I ever grew up in, but I don't mind it, and I know it's going to be way different than when my brother's not here and Robin. Then I will truly probably be by myself. I'm not sure family will ever visit, but it's okay. I'm going to want to visit them, but I don't know. Once I get some volunteers that can help cover me, hopefully I'll be able to leave for a day to go see everybody. But it's hard to leave. And even when Larry's here and takes care of everybody, he knows, like, I still don't want to leave. So that's the adventure of how I ended up in Little Brodnax, Virginia. Definitely not where I thought I would be. I do have Rob, who, my oldest brother, he was the one that helped, if you guys saw, like, with the fence post. And when we were doing all the leaves, he's actually only 2.5 hours away. So I do have him close, and some other cousins and nephews around. So, any other questions?
No?
Thanks for asking, though. We lost all the boys. They didn't want to hear my story. Like, we've heard that before. Yeah. Sorry, all the boys left. Robin's trying to zoom in on them now. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Kelly Medley said, things like that happen when it's meant to be. It's meant to be, and you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, Kelly. I did when I chose the farm, like I said, I felt like I got the big sign that I needed, that this was the place to be, and it's certainly, the farm has worked out so awesome in terms of being set up for a sanctuary, and hopefully once all this craziness in the world is over, we'll be able to start having a couple of events here and there, and everyone can hopefully be able to come and visit and see everybody. It'll be a lot of fun. Come on, Bailey. Come on, bud. Come on, Bailey. What do you think of this? That's really meant for you, Bailey. Besides that, good job. Okay. Oh. You up again? You put your yoga stretches? Puppy, get your tail, Cole. Puppy, get your tail.
Tummy rubber. Audience, really.
Kelly says happy birthday.
Thank you, Kelly. Kelly. Happy birthday wishes. Oh, Bailey. Oh, Bailey. This is a great night.
Brooke May says, tell us about the barn you want to build.
So, so we had a question on what kind is it? What kind of barn?
Tell us about the barn you want
Yeah,
to
so
build.
the you've seen the little white barn in the background, Robin will see it. That little one. That's honestly what the boys have in the winter to go into. Rain and the snow. We only had snow, but you can see, like when we got them. Honestly, my intent was to not put Miles and Journey together with Bucket and Bailey. I thought it would maybe be too much on one field to have them all together. But as I learned, when they were separated, when they were young, I posted like they were talking to each other, and I then later decided they were obviously always going to be together. So I'd already gotten these barns. So when I got these size, I thought there was going to be 2 of them in a field and not 4 of them in the field. And so my goal is to get the same version, potentially, that's there, but just a whole lot longer. And then and have it where there's like a solid part in the middle where it'll have the 2 openings on each end, but be long enough that they'll have a solid part to be able to actually get completely out of the wind and any cold that we have. Luckily, we don't get like crazy cold, but it obviously can get crazy cold. It just, we don't get like long spurts of it typically. And their body heat, like all 4 of them together, really helps keep the barn warm. But that's what the intent is. And then what the goal would be is when they would deliver that, it would actually get delivered. We would put that in the same spot as that one that we just showed and move that one over to the horses field that they could use a little bit bigger or another one. And we're going to put it in a spot in the really large field where Sterling and Chief and Chester and Geronimo are. And if down the road I need to divide that field off for any reason, that way that running will be in that field that we would divide off. So that's obviously just for the future. So it certainly won't go to waste in any way, shape, or form to have that. So that's the goal. I reached out to, I'm hopefully going to get it at the same place as that one, which is that Horizon Structures. And I'm waiting on getting a quote from them. And they're the ones that's also having that contest right now. Well, not a contest. They're just being very generous. They're auctioning off a run-in shed. But from the proceeds, they're donating $500 towards the rescue that gets tagged the most. And so I don't know if we have a chance to win that or not, but that's the post that I've been kind of sharing here and there, and that goes till May 12th. Awesome. So I'll keep everyone posted if that's what that's the style I go with. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do as long as we can afford it. I think it'll work out well in that same spot. It's pretty level, so. Thanks for your questions. You having fun, Bailey? Did you have fun? You make that ball? Hey, Bucket. Bucket. Hey, Bucket. Can you say hi to Cole? Say hi to the camera. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Huh? Can you say thank you? Yeah, you guys can play. He wants to play. I think he wants to play. Don't bark. He wants to play with you more. Yeah. Colton says hi. Can you say hi back? As much as Colton is kind of looks out for all the animals, he certainly looks out for me too. By all means. He's always got my back. He always knows when I need a hug. Right. Yeah. So cute. We lost the boy again. He'll be back though. Right, Colton?
How old is sweet Colton?
So Colton is, she is 7 years old. About 7 years old. She'll be 7 in July, I'm sorry. She'll be 7 in July, which I truly can't believe. To me, she's still, I just got her. That's how I always feel. I just got her. She's, I got her, I guess, she was about 7 months old. They weren't really sure of her age. And rescued her from a small rescue up in Maryland. And she was found, they had found her on the streets, and actually on the North Carolina, South Carolina border. And the rescue worked with these other organizations that, were a little further south. And so they brought her up to Maryland. And we still always talk about, like, the fact that she was on the streets living is just mind-blowing. That somebody would have let her go, and especially when she was a puppy. She was found with her brother, who also got adopted immediately. And all I know is that, like, when I brought her home that very first night, she rode in the back of my truck and I had her in a crate, and we came in to the house, and the way the house was, she came in like our garage door in my living room. She literally walked 3 steps, turned left, and jumped up on my couch, and it was like she was home, right? And certainly like she had lived in somebody's home. She was awesome from day one. The only little issue that Colton has, everyone says she's an absolutely perfect dog, and she is an absolutely perfect dog. Colton just really likes her food, and so she helps everybody else eat their meals, right? Which is why you always put on winter weight, right? You're looking at yourself. You guys are new to following. We do have other designs besides the olive and willow shirt that just came out. So we have this one. We have our logo. We also have one with Pete, D, Lonnie, and Charlie on it, and one with Poopy on it. So you can always check them out in our store. And if you need a link, just you can go to the olive and willow link, and then it should ask you or you can just email me, and I'll send you the link. You good? Where are you all at? They're all the way up there. Colt loves the flop. You able to get some?
A little bit.
We'll get the boys back here hopefully in a few minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them till they come back, and you don't have to listen, see me. You can see more of them. Do you have any other things that you would like to see live, like on the farm, any other areas, or any of the other members of the gang? Certainly put them on the chat. I'll do my best until I figure out a little bit better internet. I'm a little bit limited, but I'm definitely able to go live from Sterling and Chief and Chester and Geronimo's Field. If anyone is interested in that, let me know. If you just put your feedback in the comments, I always can do that. It'll kind of be like this, where I can probably keep the horses around me a little bit, but then they'll probably just go off and graze. But to me, just watching horses graze or the boys graze is always beautiful too. Sterling heard his name across the way. Chester. They're like, we want to be on the action.
Especially the fence blocking.
I can't see what's. Just turn the computer. Oh boy. We're up in that corner that we can't get to. Yeah. Just, you guys can hang tight. They're doing their little circle of the field and they'll be back here. I like your comment, the good girl food text. I'm sure Colton would appreciate that. She always needs a reason or an excuse that she can give me as to why she ate something. It'd be so nice when I can go live from my phone. You guys saw us here, you'd be laughing, trying to hold the holding the
picture of our,
yeah.
I apologize.
high-tech
No,
setup.
we're literally holding a tripod, trying to get to the boys. I've wanted to hire an IT person, believe me, in the last few weeks, several times with my internet. Last Sunday, I spent 4 hours trying to work on my internet, getting it back to the barn. It kind of broke. Which, what you call is we're stretching the internet ability from my house to get to my barn. So I will share with you guys that finally are making some headway on our website. Thanks to my nephew's girlfriend. She's going to work on it for me. And I had started it like 6 months ago. And obviously my time doesn't really warrant being able to work on that a lot. So she's going to take over for me. And I'm just going to sort of plug the text and the pictures in. And I'm really excited about getting it done so that you guys can be able to kind of see a little bit more of the stories on every single member of the gang and how they came here, and just it'll be a lot of I'm excited about it. A lot more information than sometimes I can provide on the post. I wish the weather is nice today. I just wish it had been a couple, like we've had some, like this has been the best spring of weather, I don't know, that I remember in a long time, because it did not jump from winter to summer all at once. And we've been having these like spectacularly
beautiful, clear days. Not necessarily always super warm, but just like the most unbelievable blue skies, and been really windy. Unfortunately, today is gray, but at least the rain is holding off, so that's a good thing. Bucket's making his way around. Come on, Bucket.
There's some hay. Make more hay. Try to throw it out. Skip that off.
Just throw it. Actually, just throw it back. Just throw it back here. I'll just move it if. Oh. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're getting a good spring, Kelly. So nice not to have to go from freezing to being so hot. My brother's going to try to coax him back up here. One thing about the boys is they eat a serious amount of grass. I mean, they take its toll on the fields. But then around lunchtime, it's just like we would sometimes want to take an afternoon nap. They do too. So. Hi, Liz. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everyone, for watching this morning. I really appreciate it. Trying to do my best to kind of, I want to really want to share more, just as I have a little bit more time and ability to, I'm going to keep doing this. I know when I was young, if I had had the ability to kind of join in on watching animals, since I'm old enough to remember the days that there was no internet, I certainly would have loved this. So I love sharing it with everyone. Here comes Bucket and Bailey. Here they come. Bucket's doing his little swagger. Come on, Bucket. There's Bucket. Hi, bud. Uh-oh. Here comes Bailey. Hey, Bailey. Watch your Colton. Say hi. I'm going to give camera rights back over to my brother here. He's going to take over. Hi. Everybody. You can ever realize how big Bailey is, how tall he is compared to me. Hi, Bailey. Pretty cool. Bailey
Bailey keeps me warm in the winter. Whenever I come outside, his coat, his color, like absorbs the sunshine and his body heat, I guess. Like he can warm me up right now. So gentle and so sweet. We lay together, right? Puppy, come out here. Stop it. Hey, you causing problems? You causing problems? You eat my laptop. Huh? You had a problem. Yeah. Okay. Hi. What are you doing, boy? Yeah. Get the ball. If you guys just joined, this is the first day with the ball. And Bailey was having a good time a little while ago with it. So we'll see if he plays with it again. Wait, you play with it again? Yeah. Okay. Did you bring one to me? Here. There. If anyone that just joined has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them.
Liz Kinley says good morning from Florida.
Hey, Liz. Thanks for joining. I know you watched a lot during the Willow, or the Willow to be go lives, waiting for Olive to have her baby. I know many of you guys are the ones that watched every night. So I really appreciate that. And I am so sorry that you didn't get to actually see it at night, watching Willow be born. I've succumbed to the fact that Olive had a plan and she was waiting for me to slip up, and that's when she was gonna have the baby. So, but you know, if you hadn't watched it, or if you haven't, I mean, we did get soon, pretty much right after the baby was born, on video. So that is on YouTube if you guys hadn't gone back and watched that. it's absolutely amazing how big Willow was inside of Olive, and how she must have been all just how it all happens. It's just amazing. So we hope to be going live more often again, and potentially like live again in the, like watching Olive and Willow at night. So pretty much anything Willow does is cute. So weren't able to sleep. Just watching her lay down with and watching Olive kind of stand over her is just adorable. So hopefully I'll be getting that started here in the next week or so. It's all about my internet. Not any. I'd be doing it every night otherwise. So it's the one thing about the small town is the internet situation. And if you didn't, if you just joined, I told the story of how I ended up here, but part of the story was the fact that it's a really small town. But also, I only spend an hour here before I chose to put a contract in, and I think I did check internet, or the previous owner had internet. So then when we had inspections, I came back and I brought like my computer and like hooked up in my kitchen to make sure I could actually like work, because I brought my job from Maryland down here. They were super nice about letting me go remote 100%. I used to work one day at home. And so they let me keep my job and move down to Virginia and go remote 100% of the time. So I made sure at that point of the inspections that I could work. And it did work. But the internet has probably been my biggest struggle here, of being able to get it, and I guess get it well. Obviously, I can get it, but definitely, not cable or anything like that. I'm on satellite internet. You playing bucket? Playing with the ball? I didn't. I'm so happy you guys joined and got to see these guys. Not just in my videos, but kind of just bucket was playing with the ball. Just getting to kind of just do their thing every day, and just how incredibly sweet and gentle, and the fact that Colton and I can just be with them. They love when we come in. The ball. They're very funny at night. Like when I finish my night routine, even though they have plenty of green grass, all 4 of them stand at the fence line and they moo at me until I bring them hay, even though they have plenty of grass. And Bailey, his moo, is very deep. Obviously, he's big. He often sounds a little irritated at me if I don't get there quick enough, right? You let me know when you want hay, right? Yeah. Yeah. Lots of playing with the ball like you. Think about it again. Wait, bucket. You can't get over it like Bailey did. You're almost there. That's a good thing. Keep sliding out from under it.
A little shorter. He's a little shorter.
Uh-huh,
than-
yeah. Definitely scaly. Scaly on top of it, but it's still touching the ground. Say hi to everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Thanks for all the donations towards your barn.
Liz says, will they play back and forth with the ball with you or each other? She's seen one video where a cow does that.
Yeah, I've seen those videos too. With the cows playing with these balls. This is the first day that I've put this ball in here, so I feel like as more time goes by, that they'll probably play with it even more. I'm glad to see them even really liking it. I think it's an intimidating journey a little bit, but otherwise, they seem to be having a lot of fun with it. Seem to like just stand on top of it. That's their favorite thing to do so far.
Oh, you got it.
So guys, we'll stay live for probably about another like 15 minutes. Unless obviously if we start doing something, we'll stay live. But not that they're not doing something now, but like something crazily entertaining, right, Bailey? Crazy entertaining. But definitely, hopefully we'll be able to go live more often. And just, again, thanks for watching today. I really, really, really appreciate everyone joining in. It's been fun to just get to share and interact with them like I normally would do, and let you guys sort of be able to see it. I sometimes need to be like 3 people. I can't. Can you do it? Yoga? Can you do some yoga? Yeah, don't get me it. It's all about working it out. So, but it's been but I need to be 3 people sometimes with having a camera, and that's why I don't really have myself in too many videos. Not that I necessarily, want to be in a lot of videos, but I'm a behind the camera kind of girl. Right, Colton? Right? I've been in more videos and pictures lately than probably my whole life. Right? Do it again? Who's gonna win, the ball or bucket? Trying to multitask. Trying to eat and play. Yeah. Right? And play. You can do it. You can do it. And you guys up for it? I think you're playing it. Come on. There.
Liz says you and your brother are a great team. She's camera shy too.
Thank you. Got your leg up there pretty good. Feel a little taller. I think the ball was a hit for the first time. I think they had a little fun with it. Hey, buddy. Miles and Journey should be here shortly. They're taking their normal sweet old time. Making their way up this way again.
Play. Bring it back to it.
So Bailey is down there scratching his head on actually the end of a dust broom or push broom, floor broom, right? That we've put on the fence post, kind of going up and down. Now Journey's rubbing his head on it. So one of you guys, nice enough to send that to them off their Amazon wish list a couple months ago, and they absolutely love it. I don't have one yet for the other field, and so when they're in that other field, they don't have it, and when they come into this one, they always they use it a lot. So it definitely was a big hit and a very simple idea to the fact of giving them something to scratch their heads on. You can see Journey scratching all the way up and down it. It's like the hard bristles too, like not the soft bristles, but they love it. You still trying to battle with that ball bucket? Yeah. No. So, as we're getting ready to kind of sign off for today, just know they always try to steal my show. No, it's all about them. They always distract me. I know that. We hope that let me know. Like make sure you guys click the thumbs up for me. Like all those things with any of the comments or any of the like Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. Like when you can like or thumbs up it for YouTube, like all of that like helps the post or the video get more views, which in turn then obviously just lets more people get to see it. And even like on Instagram, it's like they've recently, I don't know, how much you guys are familiar with it, but like Instagram recently changed the wow, you did it all the way over the top. That was too funny. Yeah, I told you they would get all entertaining as soon as I was thinking about turning off. Here comes Journey finally. You gonna join in, Journey? Don't run past us. I think his ball. He's, I think, taking ownership of the ball. Well, I guess we'll stay on for a little bit while Bailey's going to do the ball. So if you don't know, Instagram recently changed their algorithm not that long ago, and like how many people see posts? Like I'm very lucky and I have a lot of followers, but not all those followers see every post, and so the more likes and the more comments a post gets, that means more of the followers actually see it. So it's crazy by the fact that it gets put in the feed, and it has more action. So liking and commenting on any post does it's a huge help. I know it sounds crazy and simple, but it really helps us out. Because sometimes just like a simple, like the simple post, like if I post just a picture of like the Olive and Willow t-shirt, and because I'm trying to tell everyone about the Olive and Willow t-shirt, say for instance, obviously that's not like super fun video of the boys. That post won't get seen by very many people. So that's why I try to incorporate announcing things into like videos and stuff, because that's how more people get to see them. And it's not, I just want everyone that I know love Olive and Willow to see their t-shirt. It just makes it real. It's really hard the way they control it with their algorithm. So it's always a simple way to help us in any sanctuary, not just us. Just by always liking their posts, commenting. It helps all of us have our post seen by more people. Because we want to share all these fun moments with more people. Right? Try.
Everyone likes it. Bailey. Knock it all over right now. Thanks, Larry. Okay.
thanks everybody. We're gonna sign off for today. We'll definitely be doing this again, and hopefully from different fields, like I said. And if you didn't comment, don't hesitate to email me if you would like to see if I could go live from a particular spot on the farm. So I really, really appreciate you spending the Saturday morning with us. Hopefully everyone has a great weekend. Thank you for everyone that watched, loved us, supported us, been able to donate towards the barn. Thank you. So I really, really appreciate everyone's support. I love you guys, and I hope that you have a great weekend. So thanks for joining. You sit and